What's up, you guys? Welcome back to this week's Manga Sutra Manga review, and in this week's video we're going to be talking about a tragedy horror manga called Ibitsu. Now, Ibitsu starts off with our main character Kazuki Ito in the middle of the night taking out the trash and encountering a strange looking woman in Lolita clothing. And when he passes by her, she acts as if he has a sister, to which he passively responds. However, when he gets home, he can't shake the feeling that he's done something horribly wrong and that there is something particularly off about the woman he has just encountered. Now, in the days to come, he comes across a strange urban legend about a strange Lolita. The urban legend is that a woman in Lolita's clothing will ask you if you have a sister. Now, if you respond to that question anyway, she will follow you. She will stalk you. She will harass you. And after a certain period of time, she will proclaim that she has found a new brother, and you will meet a twisted death. Now, I'm not going to spoil what happens later on in this chapter. I'm not going to spoil what happens later on in this manga. However, Ibitsu has a tragedy tag. This does not end well for Kazuki at any point. And you can even go on to say that at the beginning of the manga, Kazuki had this very off feeling about her the moment he saw her. You can make the argument, why did he continue to walk past her? Why did he answer her question if he knew that he shouldn't be doing any of this? If he knew that she was off and that she might be potentially dangerous or whatever, why did he go on to do it? And my argument is, it's a horror manga. What's a horror manga without a main character making irrational decisions to put them in a very messed up situation in the first place? And that's what I love about Ibitsu, because it's just one mistake Kazuki makes. One. And he gets into this deep mess that he just can't get out of. And that's what I love about it. That's what I love about the tragedy tag. That's what I love about the horror tag of Ibitsu, because when it comes to our main character, he's just in this situation that puts this deep, foreboding sense of dread, and it gets exponentially worse as the manga continues. Each chapter it gets exponentially worse for him, and there seems to be like nothing he can do to alleviate himself of this situation. And you know, when there is a shining ray of hope in the manga makes sure to crush that 10 times over, so that feeling of dread and hopelessness, it continues throughout the manga. And you know, at the end, you almost feel it's a mercy what happens to him. You almost feel that you know, it should just be done. It should just be over with at this point. And reading Ibitsu, I read it in high school. It was a great read. It was a great read as far as a horror manga goes. It puts that sense of dread and despair into you. You feel for the main character. When he finds something that might be able to help him, you feel his hope. You feel that ray of light. And when that is dashed, when it's destroyed, you feel that hope shatter in you as well. When he is in a very tight situation, you feel like you're in that situation. And I will say, reading Ibitsu, there's a lot of things, the first time reading it, that you may not notice. There's a lot of things that go over your head. There's a lot of tiny little details that the manga puts in there that are foreshadowing things that will happen later on in the manga. Things that will happen to our main character to come. Things that should have been obvious the first time reading, but reading it again, it's just beautiful. It's beautiful. As far as the art style is, I mean, I wouldn't say it's sharp. And what I mean by sharp, I mean like angular and everything, or pointy. I would say it's very simplistic, but it's a classical type of art style. And what I mean by simplistic, I mean it's not heavy on details like Sunken Rock or like Inugami or any of the other types of mangas that I read that have like a lot of fine detail to the art style or everything like that. It's a lot more simpler. It's a lot more to the point. And the Lolita girl, she is frighteningly terrifying throughout the manga. The way they drew her is almost inhuman. And in many ways, she feels inhuman. The things she does is inhuman. And I just can't help but sympathize with Kazuki But at this point, you know, halfway into the manga, I'm just like, he's screwed, you know? Everything bad is happening to him. This gets exponentially worse. And any out that he can see, any type of exit he can see to get out of the situation, it turns out to be a false exit. So, I don't know, man. Ibitsu screwed my mind the first time I read it because, you know, I just could not believe that that happened to the main character. I couldn't believe the main character found himself in such a deep hole. To find himself in such a hopeless situation just blew my mind. And I think you guys should give Ibitsu a try if you haven't read it. If you've read it before, you know, rereading it again definitely won't hurt. I'm rereading it again. It's a beautiful read. This is on VM. Like, comment, share, subscribe. What do you think about Ibitsu?